It had likely only been a day since Wendy Wine first submitted her service request on the Rent a Hitman website in July 2020, when she received an email from Guido Fanelli. Would you like to?
He's got to be real. He's got.
Would you like me to put you in contact with the field operative? Angered by her ex-husband stealing $20,000 from her, and she was curious how the site services could resolve her, quote, issue. During the scheduled consultation, she provided detailed information about her ex-husband, including his home address, place of work, daily schedule, all that stuff. And she actually offered up $5,000 for the job and made a $200 down payment. Little did she know that the field operative, of course, that she was talking to was actually a Michigan State Police trooper in plain clothes. Wine was charged with solicitation of murder and using a computer to commit a crime, pleading guilty to both charges. Wine isn't the first criminal to fall victim to the parody site, though. Funny enough, the site wasn't even originally intended to catch murder-for-hire criminals.
I'm just going to say this. If you are ever in the market for a hitman and they ask you for a $200 deposit, you may want to rethink your selection. You'll have better luck going down to the liquor store on the corner, the shady liquor store, and just
paying cash, right?
Yeah. $200 deposit, $20,000 hit for. I'll take $200 up front. The rest after the job's done.
Layaway for hits.
People are so stupid.
So this did not start out originally as a parody site or even something remotely related to hitmen or ordering them. So while in business school in North Carolina, Bob Innes bought the Rent a Hitman domain with the idea that he'd use it for a cybersecurity business. He planned to, start with friends. Back in the early days of the internet, hits were like page views. That's what we called them. Oh, how many hits I got on my website. And it made sense for Bob to start that connection to the cybersecurity business that he was going to form. So even though friends never started the company, Innes held onto the domain and he hoped that someday someone would buy it. So a few months after graduating from North Carolina, he put the domain up for sale and he left an email address on the page for anyone interested that might want to buy the domain later on. So after 3 years, he gets no interest and the site sat idle. But it wasn't until 2008 when he checked the email account, which he never thought of. And he was surprised to see hundreds of unsettling messages from people around the globe, all seeking services to kill family members and former loved ones. Though there were zero hints in the first version of this website that it had anything to do with renting a hitman. But maybe that was the attraction, right? It was a plain paper bag.
Yeah, what was the original web address?
Rentahitman.com.
It was rentahitman.com. Yeah. Okay.
And I was kind of thinking about this. So it's maybe like a brown paper bag with a dirty magazine in it, where it's like, this is a plain website, but all the bad stuff is happening behind the scenes. And so it was intriguing what was on the other side of it. It felt safe for anyone that was submitting, so-called. So I actually went back. Do you know the Wayback Machine?
Yeah.
Archive.org?
Yeah.
So it allows you to pull up old versions of websites. You can go and see youtube.com from 15 years ago or espn.com. And as of today, they've indexed 866 billion pages on the internet. So I plugged in rentahitman.com and it said, sorry, this URL has been excluded from the Wayback Machine. Oh well. But still, people back then wrote into the site.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about this. I don't know a lot about it. I didn't know this whole backstory of how that came to be, but I've heard about that.
You and everyone else did.
Because I know,
it blew up. It was a
it became a popular thing, and I know that there were people that got arrested, and yeah, that's so crazy, so bizarre, and I love how that came to be, where it was like, had this domain as a joke, parked it, and just forgot, and comes back a couple years later, checks the emails, like, holy shit, like, whoa,